Okay, hi. I'm just recording this quick video to go over some tips for using YouTube TrueView paid traffic to generate traffic to your website. So there's a few different ways, different paid traffic channels you can use. The most popular ones are really Google, which is using search engine queries and advertising for keywords that are relevant to your product and service. That can get quite expensive because it's a very popular platform. It's very saturated now. A lot of companies, a lot of people using it because they understand it, and it's very easy to go out and create a text ad in 5 minutes and slap it up. So Google's the most popular one. Facebook is also, quite popular now. It's a bit newer, but you target by demographics. So instead of keywords, you can target by females or age ranges or jobs or interests, and that's also quite effective, but can be again quite competitive now because it's becoming more developed and more mature as a platform. More advertisers are starting to use it. So the one I wanted to cover today was YouTube, and specifically using in-stream adverts because there's a couple of reasons why this is still quite untapped. One is that most people don't have videos ready for adverts, and it's a bit harder to go and create an advert, a video for an advert, than just creating an image for like a Facebook advert or some text for a Google advert. So not as many people are going to take the time and effort to do this. That's one thing why it's not as popular, as competitive. The other thing is people don't really understand how it works. With Google, usually you pay per click, or you pay for impressions, and that's the same with Facebook. With YouTube, you're paying per view, and so most people dismiss this because they think if they're paying per view, they're not really sure what tangible result they're getting. So usually you only see these videos like for bigger brands. Maybe you're watching a YouTube video. Before the video, you'll see an advert inserted into the YouTube player. And you can either watch that ad or skip it. And most of the time, it's quite big brands using those because they're just trying to get visibility for their brand, so they don't have a tangible goal, and they have a lot of budget. So usually YouTube is only used by big brands, but I'm going to show you today why it can be really effective for smaller campaigns, smaller customers, and smaller projects. So the thing you need to understand with YouTube is that it uses this cost per view metric, and what that means is it's going to charge you for every view you get. But what most people don't know is that you actually only get charged if someone is watching your advert for longer than 30 seconds. So that means if someone clicks on your advert or they skip your advert before 30 seconds, you don't pay anything to Google for that click, for that view. And that can be really useful because if you create a video that's got a really strong call to action and you can persuade someone to either click it or skip it within 30 seconds, you've now got a really cheap source of traffic, and you can scale that up because YouTube's one of the biggest platforms. I think video is growing much faster than anything else. So tons of people on YouTube spending tons of time. What you need to be careful of is to make sure you're targeting the right people. So I'm just going to show you an example of a campaign I'm creating here and how I've done the targeting so you can understand how it works. So with in-stream adverts, you want to insert them in front of videos that are relevant to whatever you're targeting. So for example, I've got a campaign in Singapore and I want to target an advert just to expats. So I don't want any local Singaporeans to see the advert, I only want it to show to expats. So I start by thinking out, what sort of videos, what sort of content are these expats likely to be looking at. And in Singapore, you got a lot of Indians, Malaysians, Indonesians, and then a lot of Europeans, Australians, and Americans. So the first thing that came to mind was the sports channels and the type of sports that these people would watch that locals won't watch. One big example is cricket, which is massive in India, but there's not a lot of people in Singapore that watch a lot of cricket. So if you were to target cricket videos, you could be quite sure that would be an expat watching it. So that's one way to kind of target a demographic by their interests. And similarly, with news channels, if you're targeting a Filipino news channel, then it's quite likely that someone in Singapore who's watching that is a Filipino expat and not a Singaporean, because they wouldn't have any interest to watch Philippine news. So that's what I've done here, is I've built up a list of all these YouTube channels and videos that I think are being watched by expats, and using that to target these adverts to them. And so it can be quite a manual process if you're going to go through and find all these videos manually and add them to your target list. But what you can use, there's some good tools out there that can speed this up. And again, I think this is why most people don't use YouTube, because it's a little bit fiddly. There's a good tool called Veeroll, and Veeroll, what you can do is you can search by keyword and then automatically select all the videos and channels that are popular. So you can look at the number of subscribers, number of views that this YouTube channel and videos has, and you can make sure you've got all the really popular ones so that your advert is actually going to get in front of people, because there's no good advertising to a video that doesn't get any views. There's no one's going to see it. So that's what I did. Is I used Veeroll. I built up a list of targets. You can see in this campaign I've got around 900 placements here. So if I was going to do that manually, that would take forever. But this tool is really good, so I'd recommend you check that out for YouTube if you're going to do advertising. Is use Veeroll. The other thing that's really good with Veeroll is they have this tool you can create the videos for. So these short videos I was telling you about, where you want to get the click before 30 seconds, you need to structure a video in a way that's going to get that action. So Veeroll has these templates which are quite good. It's just you insert your content, what your call to action is going to be, and then they produce the video for you. So you get a number of video credits every month. And I'm using one in this campaign, and it's working really well. So whether you create your own video, which might take more time, again, if you have a video production team, maybe you can do it yourself. For me, this is much quicker, and it gets a really high quality video because these guys have the templates that are ready made. So that's what I'm using in this video, and that works really well. And you can see there's all kinds of different ways to further niche down in terms of your demographics. So you can see that here the age ranges I'm going for is between 25 and 54. So I don't really want to show this advert to people over 55 because they're not really working people, and also the unknowns that could have kids and other people in there. So I'm not going to risk, getting wasting views that's costing me money if it's not the right audience. So age is one really good way of niching down. You can also use gender. In my situation for this campaign, I don't really mind if it's male or female, but maybe you're targeting a product for men or women, so that's a really useful thing to think about. And then parental status. This is something that it's not available in Singapore, but some markets, I think US, again, you can niche down by parental status. So if you want to show your advert maybe just to parents, maybe we're advertising schools or something, so you only want to show it to parents, then that'd be a really useful way of niching down. So those are all the possible ways you can create your campaign, and then what you do is you set your maximum cost per view. I just used the suggested one here just because I wanted to get some traffic and see how the ads would perform, the campaign would perform. You can probably adjust these down once you start to see if your daily budget is getting used up and you're getting a good cost per view and cost per click. So they'll show you by default only the cost per view, but you can look at the number of clicks you get and you can see what your click rate is, and also you can test if you set up your conversion tracking, you can see how many leads or whatever you're generating for the clicks that are coming from YouTube. In this case, I'm able to generate leads for between 1 to 2 Singapore dollars. So that's quite competitive compared to Google and Facebook, to the cost to acquire a lead, and that's just because it's not as competitive. There's not many people advertising in this way, and it helps if you can be more specific, more targeted, because obviously that's going to get you better performance on your adverts, and Google's going to show your ad more often because it's going to be more relevant. So you need to make sure that you're targeting the right group of people with the right product and the right message, and then that's going to come back to you. So I only started this campaign a couple of days ago, but it's performing quite well, and I'm pretty happy with the performance. You can tweak. You want to split test videos. You can probably split test different videos. You can tweak your budget. You can tweak. Here I've just got it to show YouTube videos. You can show it on the YouTube search or partners. I don't like to do that because I like to know exactly where my video is appearing, what I'm being charged for. So here I've just selected the YouTube videos, and it's just in Singapore. So I only want to show this advert to people in Singapore. And like I said, the type of videos and channels I've chosen is very likely those are only being watched by expats, because locals wouldn't be watching those. You can again choose which mobiles and tablets you want to show on. So if your landing page isn't mobile ready, you probably want to take out these devices or reduce your bids for these devices. In Singapore, everyone uses mobile, so you're going to be limiting yourself to a lot of potential traffic if you're not mobile enabled. If your landing page and your campaign isn't using mobile, you're going to be losing out on a ton of traffic. And then you have some different options here, like frequency capping. So what that means is how many times do you want Google to show the same video to the same person, and you can set that per day, per week, per month. Here I just put 3 per week, because any more than that I think is going to be annoying. I don't want to have someone watching my advert repeatedly and it charging me money if it's not someone who wants to click and get on my advert. So 3 per week is what I've done here, and you can optimize again by views, and there's other options here for conversions. So if you have conversion tracking, you can set that up. But yeah, I've just gone for views because that's the default, and that's working great for me. And then that's it. That's pretty much set up. So hope this video is useful, and if you have any questions, check out Veeroll in the link below, and post your questions below.